We have a lot of stuff to talk about.
You ain't doing big enough.
I like to stay in touch with the news. So, speaking of that,
acting like my mama.
Okay, the government just passed a bill saying daylight savings time is no more.
What?
Are you excited about that?
I don't know how to feel about it.
Do you even care?
What is that? Like, what does that mean?
You don't really care until you have kids.
Well,
Josue's twitching in
you
the corner.
already getting amens. You got more amens just now than you got all.
Right, y'all have no
idea.
idea.
You got Sunday.
Y'all have no idea.
What?
What's harder? Is it this one or the one in around Christmas? The fallback or the spring forward? This one.
Yeah,
y'all are recouped already? No, dude. The kids were up at 5:30 this morning. 7:30.
Sheesh.
1 in the morning? Oh, we have parenting podcast.
So
next.
basically, don't have kids so soon.
I mean, you just gotta.
Sheesh.
You gotta know what you're getting into. That's all I'm saying.
You filling out your bracket?
I am filling out my bracket. So I'm looking right now. So last night I was looking. They had this report on ESPN, or I can't remember where it was. They were something like, "There's never been a perfect bracket." The odds of getting a perfect bracket are like they're in the quintillion compared to like winning the lottery is like a billion. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go with. I like Houston. I'm not gonna lie. Houston's been doing well. I like North Carolina. I like Gonzaga. I wish LSU was good. I'm probably gonna go with Kansas. Those are my final 4 teams. I really think Gonzaga.
If you had to pick a team that was gonna upset the world,
I like Davidson.
Make a deep run.
I like Davidson. Only because why? Why do I like Davidson?
Because I like Steph Curry.
Thank you very much. I'm proud of you. The fact that you knew that.
Stop.
You have at least some basketball IQ.
Are you really doing this right now?
Yeah, I am doing this.
In front of people?
Yes, in front of the world.
All right, I want you to keep that same energy.
So I'll tell you this. We had one listener this week from Guatemala.
Hey,
who do you think it was?
Shout out Guatemala.
It was Allie.
I didn't put that together.
I know you didn't, did you? Allie's in Guatemala listening to the podcast.
Wow, we're really growing.
I know.
Wow.
Look at her. The overflow spreading it around the world.
All the nations.
I'm excited about that. We got CJ in here today.
CJ in the building.
What up, CJ? Taylor tried to move the camera. He couldn't. He couldn't move it that far. So,
CJ's the guy.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm super pumped. So what's up?
I'm chilling. I'm on spring. I'm on spring break right now, so like I'm really chilling.
Until when? You go back to school next week?
Yeah, Monday. So no Hebrew
so what?
for
And
a
then
week.
and then you just focus on finals, right? Until
we just finished midterms, so just got some assignments to do in between then finals.
I don't miss any
then
of
summer.
That. I don't miss any of that.
You can come back.
I'm good.
You want a
Thank
PhD?
You, I appreciate it. No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna win this.
Dr. Dago. They got a nice little ring to it.
Dr. Dago?
Dr. Dago. Huh?
Sure. Yeah, but I'm okay.
Pray about it.
You know, I'm not doing that. So how was Sunday night?
Sunday night was really good.
Was it good?
Yeah, the pizza.
Okay.
The pizza was good.
Wow. Tell them what you said before we started recording.
What did I say? I said a lot of things.
You always try to throw me under the bus. What you said? You said, oh, yeah, that was a good point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, every 2 or 3 sermons you make a good point.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what you told your mama?
Me and my mama discuss is between her and I.
Okay.
That's it.
Anyway.
No, but you did say one thing that I did call her and tell her, and that was that
What was it?
I'm going to paraphrase, but the conflict that happens within the family pulls the family apart, but the conflict happening outside the family brings the family closer together. And I just thought that was good perspective.
Because you've experienced that.
Yeah, for sure. And you're going to ask me how, in what way?
I wasn't going to.
Okay, well, good. I get to ask you, in what way have you experienced that? No. Whoa. What?
I shared already. I said COVID was like one of those examples.
Yeah.
I think when somebody messes with your family, too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody punks your brother or something like, whatever.
Yeah, me and my brother fought all the time when it came to 2K. Like, I beat him. Like, I'm not even joking. We fought all the time. Like, all the time. But when somebody's from the outside in, then it was like, it was beef, It was like we standing together, like he didn't just punch me in the face. Now we about to punch somebody else in the face. It's kind of how it happens.
It's good to have brothers, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
it is.
And he big and stronger than me too, so
I know you told me that.
Yeah, he ox.
I told Taj, I was like, your number one job at school is protect your brothers. That's what I told him. And he came home last week and he said that somebody started making fun of his little brother, Kalel. Mm-hmm. And Kalel's like 3, and he's 6. And I was like, so what'd you do? And he's like, I said, don't you ever talk about my brother again. And I was like, and what happened? He's like, she walked away. What? It's a good start. It's a good start. He's in kindergarten, right?
You know what? You know what that means for you? And
What?
This is like a really big compliment.
What?
That means you're already a better dad than David.
Look at it. Somebody paid attention.
See,
on
I
Sunday
took
night
notes.
taking
Look, my notes.
I know. I try not to be passive or silent, but yeah. That was a lot. So the main verse, or the verse that we started off on Sunday night, is Galatians 6:7-8. Don't be deceived. God's not mocked. Whatever a man sows, he's also going to reap. Mm-hmm. For the one who sows to his flesh will also reap from his flesh.
That's good. That verse is good.
I was thinking about all the other areas. Like we look specifically in the area of like family for this, but I was even thinking even the conversations that we've been having with our friends and stuff like that, of like other areas where you reap what you sow. And one of the big areas has been finance, is what we've been talking about lately, right? We've been talking about debt.
Sheesh.
Like a lot of people like are in debt because they're not understanding like what they're sowing and the seeds that they're planting. But then the other side is true too. It's like if you're not sowing into something, you're not going to reap anything.
Yeah.
That's
a word for me. I'm just going to be honest with you, because I be eating out. I look at my
people in our ministry.
I look at my bank thing that they sent in. Was it transaction?
Yeah.
And food. So I went out and made groceries last week because we've been talking about it.
Did you say you made groceries last week?
Oh my gosh!
I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of you. That's how you say it.
Yes, but my girlfriend is not from here, and she gets on me for saying make groceries. It's gotta be you go get groceries because you can't make groceries.
No, you.
But
make
we making groceries.
You make groceries.
All right, man. So I gotta send it. I gotta send this clip to her so she can
make groceries.
All right, yeah. So yes, being a better steward of like finances, and so I had to go get groceries. Or make them, however you want to put it. I got to live with her, y'all don't.
Yeah, but with inflation, I'm feeling like I'm spending more money getting groceries than I'm eating out now. Are you? No?
Oh, my God.
To get groceries.
I put $40 to get up here, and it didn't even go full. And I got a Nissan.
That's upsetting.
It is.
That's upsetting.
A quarter?
A quarter of a tank?
Jeez.
Yeah, I remember during the pandemic, it was like $15 to fill up my tank. I filled it up yesterday. It was $58.
Jeez. You think I can get a horse on Amazon?
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Maybe not on Amazon, but you can look locally.
Yeah. It may be a better long-term investment.
The seminary would allow you to have a horse?
You don't know it. You don't know until you don't know until you try.
I know, right?
We're gonna find out, I guess.
I seen this video of these dudes. I think you sent it to me. They on a mini horse at a gas station, and they riding around and the meme was like when your rebate hits your account, right? People buy crazy stuff.
That's funny.
So anyway, yeah. So money's like an area I feel like where young adults have no knowledge of sowing and reaping.
But I think that's like the principle in itself. It forces you to think beyond where you are right now in life. It forces you to like have some, do some forward thinking, right? And so I can just spend all my money and eat out right now because I just don't have the responsibilities that y'all have because y'all have kids and a wife and all that, right? But I'm also not setting myself up for that season of my life, because I'm giving all my money to Popeyes. Oh, did I just tell them myself?
Yeah, that's okay.
And wings, obviously.
Wings?
I love wings.
That's all you eat.
I love wings.
Darius might be the messiest eater I've ever
Don't do this in front of people.
I mean, if they go out to eat with you, they're going to find out.
But they don't.
But they will. Yeah, they'll see. I'll post a picture of it. Wow. He always got ketchup on his shirt or like.
We were.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little scared.
Good accountability.
I'm a little scared because my stomach gets upset real easy. And Allie was like really scaring me. And she was like, oh, these people went to the hospital. You ready for this? And I was like, not really. I don't want to go to the hospital.
So you being a coward.
Wow.
I'm making an observation.
Are you going to do it?
I was going to do it. I don't even like hot stuff, like spicy stuff like that, but I was going to do it. I like wings.
I don't know what to do with y'all. I don't know. Yeah, we'll do it sometime soon.
We're not doing it. We're not doing it.
We will. I don't know when. We already ordered it. We have all the sauces and stuff like that.
Okay.
We just have to set it up.
Mm-hmm. Where we getting? Never mind. Go ahead.
Well, we're getting wings. Is that what you're saying? Mm-hmm. Chicken and waffle. Chicken and watermelon.
There you go.
No, we're not getting them there.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not getting them there. We're not getting there. So anyway, reaping what you're sowing what you're reaping. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's so many applications to that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like when we're focusing on the scripture, we're focusing on the adulterous act and like where he reaped in his life. And the thing that for me really stood out as a dad is the sins of the father being paid 4 generations to the sons, which is a verse in Deuteronomy, you know, and generational curses and things like that.
Yeah.
And like, even in your young adult years, you're not understanding that the things that you're doing are sowing seeds for your kids. And so, I don't know, it's a lot, man.
Yeah. I was thinking about it, and after the service on my ride home, and I guess it doesn't, the reaping what you sow, you know, and like dealing with what your parents, dealing with stuff because your parents, you know, did what they did, doesn't void you of accountability and responsibility of your own actions. I just think that's an important point to make when we talk about this, because it's always easier to point the finger, right? I'm going through this because of somebody else, or, you know, and that may very well be the case. Yeah. But like you have to live with you, you know? So you have to be able to embracing accountability. Yeah. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, I'm dealing with these things, but these are the decisions that I've made, and go to Jesus and say, Jesus, I need you to help me to get through this, because you break chains.
Something that somebody said to me, we're having a conversation, is just because you come to Jesus doesn't mean that you're free.
Yeah.
Right? And that there's so many people who surrender their lives to the Lord, but don't live in freedom, you know? And so you can come to church and do all that stuff and still be chained by the generational curses.
That's a sad reality.
It is.
It's a really sad reality.
It is. And I knew that this was like a really challenging topic to talk about, because everybody in the room, everybody listening can relate to some sort of, if it's not a father wound, then it's going to be like an authority wound. Yeah. It's going to be something like that, you know? And I think that everybody deals with that in their own way, but a lot of people are passive to that, you know, of like, oh, I'm just going to grow out of it, or I'm just going to, you know, mature, and it'll be, I won't do this at all in my life. But the reality is that if you don't deal with it, which you conceal, you can't heal, you know?
You mentioned that Sunday too, that sin grows. It just grows and it grows. And then like you find yourself doing things you once said you would never ever do, but you just let that sin grow. You nurtured it, and it just full blown gives birth to death. And then we just experience a bunch of pain and heartache and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and the devil's a deceiver, right? So he wants you to think it's not a big deal. You know, the things that happen to you in your life, the hurts, the pains that you're going through right now, that it's not a big deal, right? Everybody goes through them. But I'm so proud of people in our ministry that I've been talking to recently that have taken ownership of their lives, of their emotions, of their feel, of all these things, and have gone to counseling, or even in life group, have begun to expose areas of their life and said, you know what, like I really want to share this with somebody because I need healing, you know? And like the verse in James, confess your sins one to another, and not saying that what, you know, maybe you didn't sin, but somebody sinned towards you. Yeah. But confession of those things, it brings healing in your life. Yeah. And so I think that that's super important for people to know in this passage.
Yeah, that's good. I won't chase a rabbit, but yeah, that was good.
Go, chase it.
I just love that verse.
What?
Confess your sins to one another and you experience healing. Because James, as we know, is the brother of Jesus. And him writing that is just so significant to me, because he walked with Jesus and he saw Jesus do miracles. Right. He saw Jesus heal blind eyes. He saw Jesus raise the dead, right? He saw Jesus himself die and resurrect himself. And after Jesus ascended and he started like living in community amongst people, he recognized that the same healing virtue flowed when we communicate with each other and just be open and honest about what we're going through. Wow. That's powerful. Yeah. That's crazy, right? But that's the power of community. That's the power of why we always talk about going to life groups and that type of thing, because you need it. Like, you get to experience that healing virtue by just sitting down and talking to people. And now you can, like, you experiencing what is being experienced in the Gospels. And this is a beautiful thing.
Well, you've shared, the last time that you preached at the BLOC, you shared a little bit about your story. Yeah. And I think that you're a great example of leaning into community, you know? So what would you say to somebody who they listened to the message, or they feel, you know, just this relates to my situation currently? What would you say to your peers who are listening to this?
Use Jesus. He's there. Use him.
But what is that? What is it like? Be practical.
So like going back to what you were saying, if it's counseling, go to counseling. It's obviously life groups and walk with people through life groups. But Jesus, we as the church are called to be his hands and feet, right? And so a counselor is his hands and feet because you get to go sit down and talk to him the same way you would talk to Jesus and just lay your burdens and just like express these things, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes like you just need a professional to help you kind of sift through those emotions, right? But you also get the privilege of doing that with your brothers and sisters who can just pray with you and go to bat with you for you and like go before the throne and just pray with you. And I'm just big on community, and I think it starts there. It's understanding that you are not alone, right? And there's people around you or surrounding yourself with people who don't mind getting with you, like holding you up and walking with you until you can walk on your own strength, you know? And you just need that.
So somebody who's scared, though, you know, or who doesn't want to confront this truth in their life that maybe there are some wounds there. Yeah. You know, and we say, oh, go to life group or whatever. That's very intimidating, I think, to a first time. Somebody who just is listening to this or coming to any ministry and being like, okay, hey, go hang out with a bunch of people and tell them what's really going on. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
So, like, and we try our hardest in our ministry to cultivate some sort of atmosphere of, hey, get to know people, right? And hopefully, as you get to know people, you get to go deeper. So, eat some pizza, meet somebody new.
Right.
But the end goal, in our opinion, in our desire, is this confession that leads to freedom.
But it takes time. You know, like we're not saying the first day you go to life groups or the first day you go to counseling or whatever it is that you are going to help, you know, yourself. We're not saying it's going to happen in one moment, right? We're talking about something that's progressive, something that's going to take time. And so part of your healing process may just simply look like go and connect with people until God leads you to that one person that you can trust, that one person that you can talk to, right? Because we know that we can't do it by ourselves. We know we can't do it alone. So who can I trust? Who can help me? You know, who can help me, guide me, be with me through this?
So you moved here, not living here.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're a transplant, right? You came here. Wow. And I feel like there's a lot of people who are in your same shoes.
Yes.
A lot of people who came here. For example, some of our Xavier students are from Chicago. Yeah. Some of our Tulane students are from different places. We've got people who are just in and out, going to school or whatever. So how did you... Because I remember you made fun of me this week because you came to the block. But anyway, But like, how did you transition from like the outskirts to now, you know, of being such a great part of what God's doing here? Yeah, because going on what you were saying, it was very overwhelming for me at first because I grew up in a small church. I went to a relatively small university, and when I was at the university, I went to a smaller church. You know, so I've always known small. Then I get here, and there's like a bunch of people here, and I'm like overwhelmed. And but I think it starts with just going meet somebody. Like I said, you didn't know anybody when you came.
I didn't know anybody. I was like, I came by myself. I met somebody at the coffee shop, and they was like, this is how it happened. I met somebody at the coffee shop. They said, you should come to this. So I came, and when I got here, he was at a different campus. So I was I was literally by myself. Because he just said, I'll go to Celebration Church. So I just put it in my maps, and the closest one was Metairie. Yep, and he was on the West Bank. And so I was just here by myself.
So you sat by yourself?
I sat by myself, and I worshiped. And then I found a guy, his name was Isaiah, on my way out. And I was like, okay, you look like you go here. Where's there to do? Like, you know, what's up? And he kind of showed me where to go and that type of thing. But it all started with one person. Where one person invited me, I got to talk to one person, and I built relationships with those people, and then those people introduced me to other people, and even to this day, like I don't know everybody at the ministry, right? I don't trust everybody at the ministry, but I do have some people who has been a key figure in this season of my life since I've been here, who kind of showed me around the city. We laugh, we joke, but at some point in our relationship, we got to the point where, hey, I need to talk to you. And I need to tell you about some stuff that I don't think I've ever told anybody. It just takes time. And it's part of, you got to understand that it's part of your healing process. It may not feel like it at the beginning. It may feel like an isolated thing. But at some point, these things, they can and they do work together.
And I joked, I referenced this 2 weeks ago. I made a joke about it, but I was kind of serious on Sunday night when I talked about people who jump around at ministries and churches. And this exact topic is the reason why I feel like it's not funny, is because when you hop around so much, you just get, you don't get depth. And you know a bunch of people, right? You know people, you know everybody at all the ministries and all the churches, but you're not known, right? And you don't go deep with anybody. And so because of that, you never experience what you're talking about, where like, hey man, can I talk to you
Yeah.
and go deep and have like that meaningful relationship?
Yeah.
You know? So what would you say to somebody who's hopping around?
Don't. No, it's not a joke, remember?
I know.
But don't. Like,
Yeah.
there's a reason why he instituted and called us the body of Christ, right? Because he's going to, what he does happens through us, right? So when we read the scripture and we see Jesus doing all these great things, he does these great things through the body. But you don't get to experience that, or you only get to see it from a distance if you don't engage, if you don't get involved, if you don't serve, right? If you don't allow the experience and what it means to be a part of a Jesus community to do what being part of a Jesus community is supposed to do. Yeah. You got to just jump in. You got to jump in. It's for some people, you just got to crawl in. But just do what you have to do to take those steps forward. And you'll see how God begins to bless you with just being around the community. Because he's going to send the people you need your way. Right. That's his part. Right. Your part is just to do your part.
And even
at
the end this week, I referenced a little, because this upcoming week we're going to talk about friendships and like the types of people that surrounded David.
Hey, you're my friend.
Thanks, man. You're my
just
friend
wanted to remind you of that.
Allie doesn't tell me that. I'm just playing. I love you, Allie. But like the right people were around David.
Yep.
You know, even in his sin. And I think that that's so significant that even when David was fleeing and he was suffering the consequences, he still had people around him, you know? And I've been in church my whole life. I've been in ministry for a really long time, and I see the exact opposite. I've seen it in my own life, and I've been a part of it, the negative part of that, you know? And as I've grown, I don't want to do that. I want to be the type of friend who sees people the way that Jesus sees them. But I think a lot of times the thing that pushes us away from community is that when we do make mistakes, we suffer the consequences in the community that we're in, you know? And it's a sad reality, but I think everybody needs to know that no one is perfect. Yeah. You know, and I wish we could apologize for every person who's hurt you. And this and that, but we can't do that. But I think there just has to be an understanding that everybody is growing, everyone is maturing, everybody is at a different place. But you need to make sure you have the right people around you who can walk up the Mount of Olives as you weep, as David did. You know, do you think you have those people in your life? Or you've had those people? Yeah. Why? That was so weird because I said you went.
Oh, but I wasn't thinking about you. I mean,
but the way
you
your
are.
shoulders drop, you like,
it was a that was like, I've always had that. Yeah, I've always had whether younger.
But you invited it or it was forced. Like, how do you know what I'm saying?
When I was younger, it was forced because I didn't want to go to church. My mom was like, oh, you going, you don't got a choice, you know? Yeah. But when I really started to follow Jesus and understand more what it was like to be in community, I began to invite it. And because now I understand the value in this. Because I was one of those people, when I first got to this new church, when I was going to the church in undergrad, when I was in undergrad, I remember sitting at the table with a bunch of guys. It was like a men's book study. Yeah. And they ended up going around the room and just kind of like talking about stuff they were struggling with. And I was looking around like, not me. Like, y'all just gonna have to skip over me because I don't know y'all. I don't mess with y'all. Like, ain't no way in the world y'all about to get my business on this table. Ain't no way, you know? Yeah. But that was like one of my first book studies. But by the end of that semester, I was like, oh, wait. There is a healing virtue that happens here when this kind of thing happens. You know, I had to learn it. Right. And some of us just had to learn it, you know? Yeah. And sometimes it was like messy and like, it was like, you shouldn't say that and why you told him that and her that, you know, we're broken. Yeah. But Jesus works through the brokenness and we even see that in scripture. Yeah.
Yeah. And I like how in David's life, or even in this passage, you see the difference between David and Absalom, and you see how there are different approaches to healing, like who they went to, what they engaged with, right? Like David surrounded himself with the right kind of people. Absalom also surrounded himself with people, right? Yeah. Who were friends of his, but they were the wrong kind of people. Yeah. You know? And I think knowing the difference between those two groups of people is critical. We're going to talk about that next week. I don't want to go into detail with that. Anything else that stood out to you from here?
No, man. What I appreciate about the series in general, and I was reminded about it last night as well, is just how human David was. Yeah. I've always just, like David was, it was Jesus and David for me, you know? And for me, it's just like a strong reminder that no matter what we do, he really does love us. And he really just doesn't give up on us. And he's committed to his relationship with us, you know? And we can still do valuable things for the kingdom of God even amidst our brokenness. Like, He's going to hold us accountable, right? Because what we reap, what we sow. Right. You know, when we learned that from David yesterday. But just because we're reaping the consequences of our actions doesn't mean we stop reaping the consequences of Jesus' action. And that's death on the cross and forgiveness and love and all that good stuff. See,
I know this is distant to you, but I'm going to take a note of that.
You should.
Have you ever taken notes before?
I did. I took notes Sunday.
Did you take notes on Sunday?
I told you I took notes Sunday.
Why?
Because that's what we do. When we listen to the preacher, we take notes. Look, I'm in process too. I'm growing. My sanctification hasn't stopped.
All right, so we're gonna. We only have 2 more weeks of this. So this will actually be the longest series I think we've ever done at the BLOC.
Really?
Ever. Yeah.
It's been really good.
Yeah.
Can I just thank you again for just your faithfulness to the word? It's been spectacular.
I appreciate it.
You don't get that from me often, so just take it.
I don't. I don't. I get the opposite, so it's okay. Anything else we need to tell people? What's going on this weekend?
My spring break weekend.
Okay, so we'll tell everyone about your spring break weekend.
Yeah.
Make sure you share this. Make sure you share the podcast. Make sure you share the videos on the YouTube channel. It's going to be awesome. Bring your friends on Sunday night. We've been having so many new faces come.
Are we going to have food again?
Should we have food again?
We should definitely have food again. This time, we should do 2 slices of pizza.
Okay.
I told you not to put me on blast. You did it twice, and now I'm putting you on blast.
I'm done. We'll see you Sunday night.
See y'all.
Oh, you messy, bro. You pay for pizza then.
Bro. I will.